Is astrology a guide to aid us in mastering the universe? This is the Cosmic Community Podcast with Galactic Ambassador Stacey Dredd. Hey everyone, thanks for being tuned in to KPOV 88.9 FM, your high desert community radio in Bend, Oregon. I hope you're having a good day. This is Stacey Dredd, Galactic Ambassador in the Cosmic Community. That's our astrology program here, Tuesdays, 4:30 to 5 p.m., where we discuss the week's planetary and lunar influences, how the energies may be felt in our day-to-day, and how to live within the cycles of the universe to create a more benevolent life for all. So thank you so much for making time and space in your day today to receive these messages. And you can always access the archive of this program at kpov.org on the Cosmic Communities show page. And a rebroadcast of this program can be heard Saturdays, 9 a.m., following One-on-One with Raider Mystic and preceding Storyland and The Coop on Saturday morning. And also follow me on Facebook and YouTube, the Cosmic Community Astrology. This is a big week in the astrology, and I love being able to play that Taurus the Bull song is what that was for the intro. And it is a Taurus the Bull kind of week. We have the Taurus new moon on May 19th. We have some planetary changes from sign to sign. This week, both Jupiter and Mars will be shifting, ingressing into the next zodiac sign, and a couple of other interesting aspects. Lots of Plutonian, lots of Pluto action, as we are still actively in the T-square with Pluto and the North and the South Node. And Mars is completing that and creating a fixed grand cross this week. So yeah, lots going on, and we're just going to go ahead and peel apart all of the layers of what we have offered to us energetically, and how we can really be in tune with this and work with this for the most benevolence in our life. So today on May 16th, we have perhaps one of the biggest changes that's going to be kind of longest standing. This is the shift of the planet of Jupiter from the sign of Aries, moving into the sign of Taurus, joining the big Taurus party that is going on, and absolutely making things bigger and exaggerating, providing expansion and opportunity. This is all the things that Jupiter offers. It's this huge planet and brings with it all of this energy, and just really blows up everything, everywhere that it goes. Jupiter is the planet of good luck. Jupiter is a benevolent planet. Jupiter is always considered benevolent and good luck. And so that is some really interesting energy. Jupiter is going to be in Taurus for a year, actually, because Jupiter will proceed and then actually retrograde here in just a couple of months and go through retrograde cycle, and then going to be, shifting direct and moving through the rest of the sign. And normally, Jupiter just spent a pretty short amount of time in Aries. So Jupiter created all of this opportunity and expansion in the sign of Aries, but it was very quick. quick. It was, really just a couple of months. And same with moving through Pisces. And so Taurus is getting the gift of a long-term Jupiter stay this time for this retrograde cycle. Taurus is the sign of material comfort, security, safety, creating a safe space. Is represented by the bull, a very steadfast and strong but slow moving energy, the bull, and very much a fixed energy. And this is one of the types of energies that come through in these signs. We have fixed, mutable, and cardinal signs. And we're going to be definitely feeling the way that the bull can stomp its foot into the ground and stomp the other foot into the ground, stomp the other 2 feet in, and pull back and stay in one place. This is like when you're whipping and you want the cart to be pulled, but there's just they've stood their ground. They're not going anywhere for whatever reason. This bull has decided to put those hooves in the ground and become very fixed, and that is a Taurus signature, and it is a strength of the energy that Taurus provides. And there is a lot of beauty in being able to hold your ground. And so Taurus is very much a hold your ground kind of energy. And this is where also this week, the new moon on May 19th is taking place. The new moon in Taurus at the very end degrees. This is at 28.5 degrees of Taurus. We also, with Jupiter and the moon and the sun this week, have Mercury just stationed direct, moving forward now from 5 degrees of Taurus on this new moon, going to be just about 7 degrees. So Mercury hanging out in Taurus, just grinded through a retrograde there. We have been working through Taurus themes for the past few weeks already with Mercury there. We also have the planet of Uranus. Uranus is it has been in Taurus, is kind of the long-term stander there. Uranus has been there for a few years already and has been holding down all of that Taurus energy there. Uranus is a bit uncomfortable in Taurus because Uranus likes things to be changing and moving a lot. So this has been sort of a challenging transit of Uranus through Taurus, but we still have Uranus in Taurus creating a lot of ground breaking events. That's really what that has been. Shaking up the ground, lightning hitting the ground is what Uranus and Taurus is. And then we also have been having the North Node making its transit through Taurus. The North Node brings things into our lives, and this is going to be working with the themes of the zodiac sign that it's moving through. So the North Node has been bringing Taurus-themed things into our lives. This is, again, that material comfort, that safety and security that Taurus provides. This is a Venus-ruled sign, is what Taurus is. And so it's all about the pleasurable things, the beautiful things, the things that the food that tastes wonderful, and the music that sounds divine, and the fabrics that feel fantastic on your skin. This is all Venus-ruled things that we love, very sensual. Taurus is also the sign of fertility. And so that is fertility in our bodies, that is fertility in our spirit, that is planting seeds, and those seeds are going to be just waiting to explode with life with this Taurus energy, really providing a lot of nurturing and provides all of the things that you need. So, wow, lots of Taurus energy. This new moon. New moons are always the opportunity. It's the start of the lunar cycle. So as this week progresses, we have Jupiter moving into Taurus and just bringing a ton of energy there. This is like, everything pleasurable. This is all about those sensual things. We're going to be enjoying very much the expansion of the pleasure that Taurus themes provide. And as I said, Jupiter is the lucky planet. There are going to be major expansion and silver linings for sure here. And it's all culminating into this new moon on Friday where we can make a new start. We can start something new in regards to how we nurture ourselves, how we provide for ourselves, and all of these Taurus themes that we have been discussing. 444-444444 on all of my clocks here. That's my lucky number. And I have now there's another clock actually in this room, but it's a little slow. So it'll hit 444 here in a minute. But that's my lucky number. I realize I'm in the right place at the right time. This is Stacy Dredd, Galactic Ambassador here in the Cosmic Community, and we're talking astrology. I wanted to just say thank you very much to the listener who got the closest number of knows from 2 broadcasts ago, my little challenge, my challenge that I put out there 2 weeks ago. Floy, she was the closest, and that was actually a lot more than I thought. It made me go back and actually listen again so that I could get that right for everyone. But we're gonna do an astrology reading, and she's actually just gonna be kind of getting her birth chart for the first time. So I'm excited to be working with her. And if anyone out there has any questions or needs anything else in regards to getting their birth chart, or have any questions about astrology, or need any kind of information, you can reach me at the Cosmic Community at kpov.org. Just shoot me an email or find me on Facebook or YouTube, the Cosmic Community Astrology. Yeah, it's definitely one of those loaded weeks. I mentioned this fixed Grand Cross energy. So this fixed energy is coming in strong right now with the Taurus, Scorpio, that's the North Node, and the South Node lunar axis, both in fixed signs. That's like all the things that are coming and leaving our lives. That's the destiny. That's the fate. These are the fated moments that the North and the South Node bring in. And it's been a fixed energy. That just means that, sometimes it can take a long time for fixed energy to make decisions to change, to make choices to move forward, to make decisions at all, or to take action. But the North and the South Node will always bring opportunity to do that. And once they do make that change, it happens, and it happens fast, and it happens for good. So fixed energy is very much, it feels very permanent. And we have been having a T-square with Pluto. Pluto is at 0 degrees of Aquarius, just went retrograde a couple of weeks ago, made the ingress from Capricorn to Aquarius just within the last couple of months. And that was a very exciting moment. This is time changing. Pluto takes up to 20 years to make it through a zodiac sign. And so it's very much the slowest moving planet, as we all know. It's the furthest one out there. But this is like very much a kind of greater energy of the times, right? Capricorn, is very ambitious, very much about the skeletal system and the structures. And it's an earth sign, so building things and making sure that the structures are strong. And Aquarius is an air sign, and it's about freedom, and it's about individuality, and it's about independence and revolution. And so these are two very, very different energies. And you can already feel that in the air, right? The need for revolution, for change, for revelation. And so Pluto is leaving the sign of Capricorn, moving into Aquarius, is bringing more of that in. But we are doing our very last retrograde back into Capricorn. So we're going to see Pluto re-enter Capricorn. We're going to go back and take care of some business. We are sometimes we are slow to make changes, but also there's always some business that you got to get back and take care of. You got to there's always something that kind of hangs on, and you got to go back and kind of like cut that line, And this is how I feel like this is. We've got things that we need to go back and cut those lines before we can really, really move forward. So this is really intense. The nodes of destiny, the nodes of fate, in a T-square with Pluto, the planet of death and rebirth. And this is all about permanent change in a fixed sign. Again, Aquarius being the fixed sign. And then this week, we have Mars coming in. Mars is at the very last degrees of Cancer. Mars is our warrior spirit. Mars is the masculine warrior. This is like what we fight for. This is our forward moving. This is taking action. This is making things happen. Mars is the go-getter and is creating action everywhere he goes. He's finishing up his time in Cancer, but before he goes, he's completing this grand cross and sitting in another fixed sign, or on its way into Leo, into that fixed energy, and is going to be taking on that 0 degree point and being exactly across in the zodiac from Pluto. And we're going to have that really tough energy this week. But as I said, if it's something that needs to change, it's something that's destined or fated, to happen, it's going to happen. And it's going to be permanent. So really, really interesting, of course, always something to be aware of as we are working through the week. Pluto and Mars can definitely both be tough energies. They're all about kind of making things just kind of happen. They don't really feel too much into it. It's like, let's just go. And so there can be some abruptness to it. It can feel a bit abrasive. It can feel quick. It can feel cold and icy because it's a fixed energy. So hang in there. Of course, it's fated because the North and the South node are both involved. So the last kind of big change there's two more big changes of the week. The first one is on May 20th. This is a loaded week. On May 20th, we have Mars moving, as I just mentioned, from the sign of Cancer into Leo. Leo is a fire sign. Leo is the heart, the hearth, the warm, burning flame that the family comes and sits around at night to get warm. Leo is a very, very loving, passionate, fun energy. This is represented by the lion and also very beautiful. I mean, Leo is definitely, they can tend to be like really into, how they're presented, what people think and like kind of how their energy is being taken by others, really kind of caring about what other people think and feel, So this is Mars is like that masculine energy. So we have the shift from Cancer, which is a really soft, feminine sign that that Mars has been, kind of not so happy in too much, moving into a more masculine, fiery sign. So this could really, induce a lot of spark, a lot of flame, Mars is the ruling sign of Aries, another fiery sign. So we have fire and fire kind of moving through here. So things to kind of be aware of, there's definitely Mars can be a little impulsive, so Leo themes, we can definitely feel a little like over the top, a little over incinerated, right? So there can be kind of this over the top fieriness when Mars is moving through any fire sign, but also it's wonderful if you're like trying to light the fire, right? So we'll be discussing more for sure about Mars in Leo, but just be aware that our physical bodies are going to go through a transformation this week, moving through this direct opposition and Grand Cross with Pluto and the nodes of fate, and then moving into this really fiery, passionate sign. This is going to be, it's going to definitely be exciting. And so the next big energy is we actually have a change of season coming this week on May 21st. The sun is moving into Gemini. And so we start Gemini season. Gemini is represented by the twins. So this is where we get our options. This is where we really start to get inquisitive. Gemini asks a lot of questions. Gemini is very curious. Gemini really likes to dive in deep and get the answers that it's looking for. Gemini also represents the hands. So this is like crafty work. This is like doing things with your hands, being expressive, in that regard, if you do art or if you play music, that could come out really strong during Gemini season because the hands are like really lit up. And Gemini is also representative of our siblings and our sibling relationships, as Gemini is represented by the twins. There's two of them, right? Gemini is the only sign that's actually represented by two of something. And it's two humanoid twins. And so very much a down-to-earth kind of energy. The ruling planet is Mercury, so the mind becomes very much strong and willing to explore when we have the sun in Gemini. So that will be the next month of kind of the filter of which we're seeing the world through. There are definitely a couple of intense kind of squares going on, and with the big grand fixed cross that we have going on, it's a bit intense. So do take care of yourselves this week. And if you need to listen to this program again, you can hear the archive at the Cosmic Community show page on kpov.org. And I very much appreciate you listening and being tuned in. I will be back next week on Tuesday at 4:30 with another The Cosmic Community. And I can't imagine that next week can be as exciting as this week, but what next week does have is a lot of transitional energy. We're going to need to be sort of feeling into these next phases. This week is really, really loaded. So just sit back, kind of look at make sure you're taking in all the view first and getting kind of the full view perspective of everything that's going on before, moving too much more forward. So I wish you the very best, and I will talk to you next week. Thank you so much. Peace. Thank you for listening to the Cosmic Community Podcast. More can be found at kpov.org/thecosmiccommunity.